Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hello Dave. I want to start this week out with a very big announcement. As you can probably guess from the video title, I decided to start a second channel. This is going to be called Cosmic Curiosity. First of all, link of course in the description if you want to go and check it out. There's not a lot over there, but we'll come back to that in a second. The plan for Cosmic Curiosity is to be a lot of the things that I actually wanted this channel to be when I first created it. I was first intended to use this channel to make science and astronomy type videos. Over time it developed into what it is today, where it's pretty much solely a gaming channel. So the plan is that Cosmic Curiosity is going to be like sciencey, astronomy type videos. There's going to be some astrophotography where we both can be looking at equipment reviews, and I'm also going to be doing like how-tos. So how do you take whatever equipment you have, go out, you take pictures of the night sky, and then you take them back home. You do all the post-processing you need to do in order to get these stunning pictures of deep sky objects, planets, all that kind of stuff. That is the planned stuff we want to do over on Cosmic Curiosity. Now you might ask, why not just post it on this channel? Well, the point is, first of all, I want these to be videos where I can spend a little bit more time per video. So instead of having this rapid release schedule I have here, that channel is going to have a much slower release schedule. Maybe we're looking at one video every other week, maybe once a month, I don't know yet. I'm going to try to figure out the workflow and how much time it's going to take. But my point is, if somebody went out and they found let's say an astrophotography video on this channel and they say, hey, I want more of it, then they go and look at what the type of content I usually do here and they see that 90% of it is computer games. Then you can kind of understand why, if they're not interested in the computer games, why they may not stick around, because there's going to be so much noise in their subscription feed. So that's why I wanted to branch it out on its own separate channel. And as I said, upload schedule is going to be slower over there because I do want to spend more time on each video to make cool animations and to spend a little bit more time trying to lift the production quality. The first video is actually already done and ready and uploaded, good to go, and it's going to come out later this week. Right now over on Cosmic Curiosity there is just a single welcome video, but as I said, the first video is going to come out later this week, which is going to be what is inside a black hole. We're going to be talking about black holes, what is inside them. We're going to talk about gravity, how black holes are formed, those kind of videos. It's going to be relatively short as the first video, but hopefully I'm going to be able to get some more in-depth videos in the future. This is going to be a little bit of a trial run if you want. But I really love if you would go down in the description. There's going to be a link for Cosmic Curiosity. Go over to that channel if you're interested in astronomy and space sciencey and astrophotography type videos. Then head over there and click the subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. But now on to some of the more regular news, and we're going to start with the Terra-Ex update. Last week I did mention that we had an expansion, and I didn't really want to talk about where we're going. Cat's kind of out of the bag now. We are heading to the system called Aurora, which some of you may know is a known anarchy system and also the home system of the player faction, The Code. Now, usually we stay out of systems that already has player factions in it, but in this case we were actually invited into the system. You may recall that I've been talking about how anarchy factions is really having a hard time under Odyssey, and it's become increasingly difficult for anarchy factions to exist. And this is one of the reasons why we have agreed with The Code that we are going to be moving into the system, but we will not be taking system control. We have big plans for the system, and this is why we have agreed with The Code that we're going to be moving into the system, but we're not going to be taking system control. We are going to be sitting in second place. We're going to keep the system as an anarchy system, and we're going to keep The Code in control of that system. That's part of it. The other thing is that we actually have, together with The Code, big plans for the system. And I promised I wouldn't tell anything detailed about the plans until we were in the system. And at the time of this recording, we are not there yet. We should be there very, very soon. But at the time of this recording, we are not in the system yet. We do have some very long-term plans for the system. That's probably something that's going to be stretched over like months and months of work. It's going to be a huge community project. In Terra-Ex, we're calling it Operation Greenfield. But again, I can't really share a lot of details with it as I promised not to. But hopefully next week, when we are in the system, I will be going into much more details about what Project Greenfield is going to be about. Over in Elite, there has been quite a bit of drama around one of the community goal frameshift drive. You might remember a couple of weeks back, there was a community goal that allowed you to get one of these double engineered frameshift drives in size 3 4, and 6. We of course already have access to the size 5 one, but we now got it with 3, 4, and 6. And everybody assumed, because we hadn't been told anything else, that they were going to be able to work exactly in the same way as the size 5 one did. Where the size 5 one, you get it pre-engineered with increased range and faster boot sequence. But it doesn't come default with an experimental, but you could then go and add your own experimental to that frameshift drive. So you could go and put either Mass Manager or Deep Charge on it, depending on what you preferred. And people then assumed you're going to be able to do the same thing with the frameshift drive that you couldn't. However, when people tried it, they were met with a undescript error. Basically just saying, nope, can't do it. And this was raised to Frontier saying, hey, there seems to be a bug, we can't engineer it. And first they told us, nope, that is by design. You are not supposed to be able to put experimental effects. That gave Frontier got a lot of feedback, should we say it like that. And it wasn't really positive feedback about that decision. So they went back on that decision and they changed it so that now you should be able to go and add experimental effects to those frameshift drive. But of course, this begs the question is this a direction that Frontier is going to go in the future, where these are going to be fixed modules that we're not going to be able to further engineer? And I guess it is a balancing act because, I mean, depending on the modules that you do, I can see a situation where a double engineered with also experimental could be overpowered. I mean, if you take, let's say, for instance, an overcharged and efficient beam laser, that would be a quite powerful weapon. And if you're then further going to be able to put experimental on it, then it might be too much. I don't know. But there are some combinations, at least of in double engineering, that is a little overpowered. So maybe they're going to use that as a balancing thing, so they can maybe make some of these more powerful modules, but then they're going to kind of balance them back a little bit by not allowing us. The only thing is it's going to be a bit of a mess that we now have a number of modules that we can put experimental on it, and some of them we can't. And if I know Frontier right, there's going to be no information about in-game which one you can and which one you cannot. So that you're going to have to go out to third-party sites that hopefully going to list and say, this one can have experimental, this one cannot. It's just going to be super confusing for everybody, especially players coming in like after the fact and they don't really know the whole history behind these modules. It's going to be an absolute mess. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Maybe Frontier's not going to do, maybe they are going to allow us to keep adding experimental effects to these double-engineered modules. I don't know. I just thought I would mention it because it was quite interesting to see that whole thing unfold. The Thargoids also seems to have gone back on the offensive. I haven't talked much about the Thargoid storyline for a while, so just to get everybody up to speed, a while back there was a community goal where the Salvation won the community goal, built with some kind of massive anti-Thargoid weapon and made a huge strike against the Thargoids. That seems to have ruffled some feathers amongst the Thargoids because they're now gone back on the offensive and has been attacking stations, as we've seen before, in the Pleiades sector. So we now both have stations on fire as well as stations under repair down in that sector. Now we've seen these things happen before. They would start by attacking stations in the Pleiades sector when pretty much everything down there was at fire or being repaired. Then slowly we would see the Thargoids begin move towards the bubble, as we saw, like, what is that now, a year or a year and a half ago now, when there was the last Thargoid war, and they were pretty close to getting into the Sol system. So it seems like the whole Thargoid war is coming back, and the fighting is going to continue. And we'll see how this develops. I'm going to keep my eye on it, and I'm going to try to keep you guys updated in Hello Dave. Over in Star Citizen, last Friday started the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2951. And with that, of course, also comes the Free Fly event. That means that right now, you can go ahead, you can create yourself a Star Citizen account, you can download the game, you can play it for free, and you can do that for the rest of the month. During this expo, every day there's going to be some new ship manufacturers that's going to have their ships on display out in New Babbage. You can go, you can visit the expo hall out there. You can see all the ships out on display. You can rent the ships for free. That means not only can you play the game for free, but you can also rent pretty much every flyable ship in the game for free and try them out for 2 days. So if you're interested in picking up Star Citizen, then go to getstarcitizen.d2ea.com. And you can create an account there. There should automatically be applied a referral code. It means you get some extra starting credits. And if you then also decide to buy a game pack before the end of the year, then you will get a free Argo cargo little like starter transport ship. And with Update 3.15 that we got recently and with the Expo, we now have a number of new ships available in the game. And one of them is the Aegis Redeemer, which I already showed off in a video, I think last week, or was it the week before that? A very, very hard-hitting gunship. Lots and lots of turrets, lots and lots of guns, lots and lots of dagger on that thing. So that will definitely pack a punch, but also a ship that really needs a crew in order to pilot and work with effectively. We also have 2 new ships from Crusader Industries. We have the Crusader Ares Starfighter Ion and the Starfighter Inferno. The 2 ships are basically 2 variants of the same ship. They look very similar, slightly different paint job. And the main difference, of course, is that one of them has a very, very huge laser cannon, whereas the Inferno has a very huge Gatling gun. So these ships are an absolute meme. I've been showing them off during my live streams and also to people on Discord. They are hilarious because they have these huge guns. It's basically like somebody took a gun and they said, hey, let's build a ship around it. So they did. So the gun is like a structural part of the ship. But oh my god, it hits like a truck. The thing, it will one-shot many ships. It's quite potent, it's quite entertaining, quite fun. But of course, as always, when we get new ships in the game, they are not immediately available to purchase for in-game money. For the first patch here, they're going to be real money only. And then I'm expecting when we get 3.16 in the future, then we're going to see this move in and be purchasable for in-game credits, as we usually do. Finally, I just quickly want to talk about the live stream tomorrow. With the Expo going on in Star Citizen, I am going to be streaming Star Citizen. We're going to be heading back out into the Expo hall. Tomorrow we should have all the alien ships on display, and there's some quite fun ones there. Some I really want to try and take out for a spin. Should be quite interesting. And we also have all the Crusader Industries ships on display as well, like Mercury Star Runners. Also the Starfighters that I just talked about should also be on display. So there should be some really fun and entertaining ships on display. We're gonna take a look at those and take some of them out for a spin and see what they can do. And it's all going to happen tomorrow, of course, on YouTube as well as on Twitch. And it's going to be 8 o'clock GMT. I hope I'll see a lot of you guys there. That's it for this week. Thanks so much for watching. And also next time, I will see you guys in space.